Okay, here's our next problem. Recall that you hit all the rollovers. And let's see here. Right now, I think I got a light out. Let's not freak out about that. But when the extra ball is lit, if I drop the ball in there, I don't get same player shoots again when lit down here, and I should. Now the light goes off, but I don't have anything here. Try it again. So what's the problem there? Why won't that thing light? And it's not a bad light. What's broken inside the machine? Okay, so here's the problem. This switch right here on the 6B, they call it a relay, but there's no coil, and I'll show how that mechanically works. But there are 4 switches on the 6B. 2 are for enabling the special replay, add a credit. 2 for the extra ball. And there are 4 switches to each, because one's for the light on the playfield and the other is for the actual function. So even though I had this switch working and the light showed on the playfield that it would give an extra ball, it would never do it because the other switch is open, and I'll show on a schematic how that works. I want to show how this relay bank works. All the relays, all the rollovers, once they're down, enable a function. Let me show you. See how all 5 rollovers closed, and that pulled this one down. It's 6B. There is no coil. I don't know if you can see in the back here, there's a gap. All the others have coils, but it's a mechanical thing where this lever going across, once it's tripped, it enables these 4 contacts for 6B. And again, those contacts, there are 4 of them. 1 pair is for extra ball, and 1 pair is for special. So let's walk through the schematic for the 6B relay. Again, there's no coil there, but they call it a relay. It's mechanically actuated by neighboring relays. This part of the schematic is section B3, and it shows the double bonus light, the special light, and the extra ball light. For it, let's just pick on the extra ball light. For the extra ball light to light, motor 3E has to be made, and that 6B relay has to be made. And the problem we had was, if you block this switch open, the light will never turn on. Now, there's also another switch that controls whether you actually get the extra ball or not. So this is just showing the extra ball light part. For the special light, motor 4E has to actuate, and again, that 6B has to close. So if you have troubles with 6B, it could affect either or both special and extra ball lights, or either or both special or extra ball functions. You can also see that the motor switches could also have an impact here. The double bonus uses motor 1E, and then it has to have the 1776 target bank and the 1976 target bank closed. As soon as those happen and you hit motor 1E, it'll light double bonus. So as the motor turns, these 3 switches are what makes the machine alternate between double bonus, special, and extra ball. And I'll show more on that in a bit. So here's some motor basics. Side view of the motor, there are 2 discs, and then there are pegs either hanging down or up from that top disc on the motor. And you can see the motor numbering scheme is on this lower disc. There are little notches in the disc. You know, from the side view, it might look like this, something like that. But that's switches will write in those disc notches and actuate. So it's A for the bottom disc, B for the pegs hanging down from the top disc, C is that top disc. It's going to have these same notches. D has the short peg sticking up from the top motor plate. E is the tall pegs off that motor plate. And what we're seeing with this particular part of the problem, this particular part of the machine, is those tall pegs will actuate 1E, 3E, and 4E. But it's basically going to enable this motor for 120 degrees, so it's going to move from 1E to 3E to 4E every time you hit it. And there are switches that hit the tops of those pegs, which close 1E, 3E, or 4E, as I showed in this schematic here. There's 1E, 3E, and 4E. So then what about the other two 6B connections? Where are they on the schematic? If you look around schematic section F7, you're going to see them. There's one near the I relay and one, actually it's kind of hard to find, but it's here and it'll eventually feed the add replay unit. I want to walk through this really quickly. So if the 1976 bank and the 1776 bank are down, they'll close. If the 6B light or 6B switch closes, if all the rollovers are closed, that'll close, and it's motor 4E, then we'll see an add replay. But recap, if all the banks are down, all the rollovers are down, and it's on motor 4E, which means special is lit, it'll enable that replay unit. And this is a long road to get down in the schematic. There's a big section in between there. Now, if it's extra ball, what happens is if motor 3E is closed, which would light up that extra ball light on the out hole, on the kick-out hole, and we won't worry about J right now, but here's that other 6B. So if all the rollover switches are down, that's going to close. And if it's on motor 3E, that's going to close. And then I believe G is the kick-out hole relay. So when that switch is made, it allows an extra ball to be achieved.